Prepare yourself.
The opinions of the host and guests on this show are exclusively just that, opinions. That means that they shouldn't be the cause of your state of being offended. Why does everybody get so butthurt?
Okay, let's go. Ready, go!
Sit down, shut up, and pay attention.
Damn!
This is the Rants of Izzo Show with your host, Dominic Izzo, from porn to politics. We touch every third rail we can find. You might want to put your headphones on so your mom can't hear this. It's been called the most entertaining 60 minutes on the internet, and it starts now. Let's do this.
All right, this is not the Rants of Izzo Show, but this is a subcategory of the Rants of Izzo Show. This is Cop Talk Live with Dominic Izzo here, and it's brought to you by Spreely TV. We're doing this live every Monday, I'm not doing this Monday, but every Thursday night, 9 p.m. East. Man, I can't even get my 9 p.m. Central. What's that? 10 Eastern. So we're gonna do this as a part of a Rants of Izzo production here on Spreely.com, and I'm gonna be starting to do more law enforcement content for you guys. For those that are new to the YouTube channel, great, appreciate that. Rumble, everywhere else you're watching, awesome. It's good. I will be able to see you guys. Daniel Dillard over on the chat. April Schoen, how are you? I'm gonna move this over this way so I can actually see you guys. Listen, I wanted to start doing some commentary on law enforcement content, and I think this is the best way to wind up doing it, is to have a Q&A with you guys and discuss some stuff and go live with you. So I'm going to be going live. This will be my first production today, so this is going to be a little bit fucking haphazard on here. I can see your comments, so I appreciate you greatly on this. Son of a bitch. I thought I'd open this with review some of your comments, right? Because I did a video last week, last week I talked about Chille Decastro, who I had the pleasure of doing a podcast with years ago. Very intelligent guy, but kind of a really nut job. And if you support Chille, great, appreciate that. That's fantastic for you. But I did not get into the ins and outs of his case and all that kind of stuff. But Chille got himself in some kind of hot water. For those who don't know, Chille Decastro is a self-proclaimed constitutional law scholar, excuse me. And he's a YouTuber. He's got 500,000+ people following him on his YouTube channel. And if you've ever seen the inside of his garage, the guy's fairly intelligent. He has this huge backdrop of all the case law, and he's got the red string going from one side of shit to another. And it's pretty impressive. But as is with, I would say, most 99% of First Amendment auditors, Chille goes out to purposely instigate stuff to see if he can get a rise out of cops. Is that illegal? Of course not. Is it wise? Dude, why? Why would you do it? You should go and put yourself in the position, because a lot of guys like to go out in that First Amendment audit, and they like to put themselves in a position of whether or not the cop's going to come up, talk to them, engage them, and then you exercise your First Amendment right. And I don't have to answer your questions. Are you seizing me? Is this a seizure? No, it's not. Great. Go about your day. Have a great day, officer. But a lot of people like Chille will try to push people in hopes to get a payday, because they're going to sue the cops who, sadly, a lot of cops just don't know. Daniel Dillard, he had a lot of potential, but it seems he went off the deep end. Yeah, I kind of went on that one. I'll give you some examples. Chille Decastro. I'll pull up his stuff. I'll give him a little bit of credit. He's got Deletes Laws on YouTube. What I didn't like for the most part was Chille acting all tough, and I don't know if I have the First Amendment stuff that he's done. I'll play the video on my channel for what I have, and you could see what I critiqued on him. And we'll talk about this, because not a lot of you people aren't, you guys are supporters of him, are not pretty happy with my critique of him. But this is Chille Decastro. and his attitude went up.
I'm a constitutional law scholar.
Over there.
What I do is I tour the country and I sue police departments from...
Over there,
please don't put your hands on me, sir. I'm on the public sidewalk. I'm not interfering in your scene. Please don't touch me, sir. I will sue you tomorrow. Listen to me. You will be listed in a federal civil rights lawsuit. Don't play... I will not move from my feet from this position right here. I don't care how big and strong you think you are, bud. I know my rights. I sue pigs like you constantly. You will not tell me where I can stand. Let me make it clear. Now back down and de-escalate.
Now, here's the deal. A lot of you guys, I sat there and I'll play. No, I'm sorry. This is fair. I'll play my response to what I said that stoked some of the fire in many of you Chille supporters. I appreciate First Amendment auditors, but this jagoff Chille Decastro, who, yes, I did a podcast with many years ago, he seemed to be a very intelligent guy, but this is the epitome of fuck around and find out. Here he is crying in court after being convicted, now getting a sentence for a crime that he committed. Listen, First Amendment auditors are great, but jagoffs like this that take it way too fucking far, they get what they deserve. Well done. And, of course, over in the comment section, you guys are like, what does he deserve? What is too far? And all this kind of stuff. Here's the deal. And I'm going to give you another example of another free speech aspect. And I'm going to tell you, as a retired cop, I am 100% pro free speech. I went to a use of force instructor class, and I will tell this story nonstop because of the value and the importance in it. I went to a use of force instructor class 2015, and one of the first questions that the instructor had asked was, hey, show of hands, how many of you have ever said, shut your mouth or you're about to go to jail? And all of us, our hands shot right up in the air and went, I did. And he goes, congratulations. If you ever followed through with that, you just violated somebody's First Amendment right. And that's mandatory 2 years in federal prison if you were convicted and charged on it. So that kind of opened up my eyes to go, shit, dude, that's the greatest threat in the world. Because, yes, for the most part, you get somebody yapping their ass off. I go to a domestic, walk in there, and you got, I can't tell you how many times you get some woman who calls 911 because she knows how to play the system, right? So she doesn't like the fact that her boyfriend comes home, husband comes home, the guy's had a long-ass day of work, so what does he do? He just wants to play video games, sit down. What does she do? She's at home all day long, right? Whatever. Maybe she's with the kid. And I'm not devaluing the importance of a mother or a stay-at-home mother, but the outright entitlement of women to know how to play the system is a problem I have. But I digress. So you'd walk in and she'd call 911 and make something up like, he's yelling, he's screaming, blah, blah, blah. And you'd walk in the house, guy as cool as a cucumber sitting on the couch because he knows the game. He's like, she called 911. And we do, you take the female half in a one room, guy in the other half. What happened? He goes, man, I came home. Fucking, she's losing her mind. She's all pissed at me, blah, blah, blah. Okay, great, whatever. And I just want a beer and I want to play video games. Fine with that, dude. Absolutely fine with that. No problem. What's going on? You look at her and she's going, blah, 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 blah. And she's venting about the scumbag he is. And it was such a great fucking tool where we go, shut your mouth or you're about to go in handcuffs. Oh, my God, that was great. But, it's a violation of their free speech. So you cannot follow through with that. As a tactic to say it, I think it's great. But I think if you're going to call people's bluffs and they know, hey, officer, just let you know, you can't arrest me for that shit. But if you want to go ahead and do it, great. Now, I'm all pro for that. I'm pro free speech. I have said millions of times on a traffic stop, if I stop somebody for speeding and the cop goes, officer, fuck your mother. I cannot base my citation issuance or my searching of the vehicle or anything else off of the language or the attitude someone used. Now, the people who were blowing up in the comments section of this, I want to refer to this one as, I'll say, Exhibit B when it comes down to what I'm talking about here. This is a person, I guess, getting I don't know where this is from. They're getting a traffic citation. They're holding the camera up. And I'm just going to play 15 seconds of this.
Blah 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 blah. One more for blah 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 blah.
Now that's free speech. They can say whatever the hell they want. This is something that a lot of you in the comment section of this video are outraged over, which is your speech and your attitude are constitutionally protected. I think it's the greatest thing in the world. It's awesome. Great. What's not protected is your actions and behavior. Now, I'm going to tell you, and a lot of you are like, did you just admit to looking for a reason for detaining somebody or charging them? Fucking yes. I'm going to make the law, I'm going to use the law to every step of my advantage. End of story. And this is in the video I did where I talked about that. So many people are like, you just admitted on camera, on video, that you would look for an active reason to arrest somebody. Yeah. Because you know why? Because when you have a problem with your neighbor and you call 911 because they're having a barbecue and the smoke is blowing over in your fucking yard, and you're all like, I need to do something about this because I hate my neighbor, so I'm going to call 911, and the police come over and say, ma'am, there's nothing I could do. And for the most part, trust me, it's always the women who are the problems that I've dealt with. And they go, well, do something. You want me, you pressure me, and you call my sergeant or commander if I don't do what you want. And you're like, and then the commander's like, dude, just go over there. Disorderly conduct. If somebody's there, have her sign a complaint. You want me to follow through and sign and use the law for your uses, right? You want them to go to jail on your behalf, but when it comes down to me doing my job, you don't want me looking for a reason for people to, law against them, if you will. Now, if you act fucking crazy, action, not attitude. Attitude's a different story. Be quiet, be all goofy, be happy, whatever. If your actions and behavior I can articulate is suspicious and is reasonably suspicious enough for me to detain you, I'm gonna. Hey, sub RO, responding officer, observed. I have to find something to observe. And I'm not on the other side of this camera, so I don't know, right? And I'm gonna be looking. I'm gonna look at this person and say, dude, this is not rational, reasonable behavior that a person would be doing, right? If this person starts drooling at the mouth, starts thrashing about, I may call rescue and say, we need a medical evaluation, and I may turn them over to them. But yes, you see, I will use the law to make your fucking life a little bit more difficult if you choose this course of action. I don't understand why this is such a problem. I am very, 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 very pro-Constitution. I'm pro-citizen. I'm pro the police who works for the public. I'm pro you sign my paychecks. You pay me. I work for you. You bet your fucking ass I do. But, well, no longer. But I'm going to tell you, you want to play this game and you want to fuck around and find out, I will absolutely condone every officer take that investigation as far as they possibly, lawfully, legally, constitutionally, righteously can, because you wanted it. This is the game you wanted. Sadly, are there cops who get up every morning and they want somebody to be purposely an asshole so that they can exercise their force on them? Yeah, there are. Yes, there are. I have known, I have worked with people who have stupidly said, man, I can't wait to get into a fight. And I've looked and said, what the fuck is wrong with you? Did you actually just say that? Well, there are. There are those out there. But in the more grand scheme of things, man, I'm going to tell you, cops want to go to work. They want to drive around in circles, wave at you, hope their presence is enough for you to go, all right, I'm not going to do that. And then go home and collect a paycheck and go home to their cheating wives, strippers that they foolishly dealt with. They have a 6-pack of beer and hate their lives and wonder why they are on year 5 of a 20-year career that they're probably not going to do anyways. We'll look at some of your questions here. Daniel Dillard, I've been following him for quite a while, and there's definitely a pattern to his behavior. Right, thanks for keeping me back on track. So we're talking about Chille Decastro, right? And with the issue with Chille, I had said flat out, I said that if Chille wants to, when the officers let the subjects like Chille get that close to their faces, that's you're going into handcuffs. You're going into handcuffs. You get like the CPD and NYPD still pictures of like the kids who are screaming in the cops' faces. The cops are stoically standing there taking it. No, that's enough. That is enough for me to say this is an officer safety issue. I'm in reasonable apprehension of receiving a battery in Illinois. That's called assault. You're going to go in handcuffs. How stupid do you need to be to let somebody get that close to you within arm's length to where you didn't pat them down, you didn't search them because you have no lawful reason to perform a pat down, you have no lawful reason to search them, But you know how fast action is versus reaction? You want to get that close. You want to act erratic because now you're going to be going, oh, this constitutionally violating. No, I can easily articulate. You're going to act erratic. I've seen enough posturing from people who are about to throw a punch. With my years of training and experience, it's very, very easy for me to tell when somebody is going to get in a confrontational mode for my safety and their safety and the safety of those around us. If there's anybody, I'm going to place them in handcuffs. When it comes down to the Chille, the Castro aspect of it, a lot of you guys are saying that the stop was over and he didn't obstruct. Dude, it's obstruction. The way that I absolutely endorse it is if a cop is on an investigation and they're conducting their business and you are actively trying to interject, impede, obstruct their obstruct their investigation, that's obstruction. When Chille stands there and videotapes it, I don't see a problem with that. Now, here's what I do know, because I've talked about this before too. The cell phones everybody has. Everybody laughed in 2014 when I was starting to talk about the fact that I don't know if that's a cell phone in your hand. So if I'm dealing with you, yeah, you're going to videotape, but I'm going to make sure it's a cell phone first, right? Don't touch me. Don't touch my phone. I'm not going to play that fucking game, because all you have to do is go online and look that there are the cell phones that are 22 caliber pistols. You have 2 rounds in them, and then they're knives, right? You've got the credit card knife shit, right? I'm not gonna play this fucking game. So if you want a video, now I'm gonna give you a lawful order. Here's the problem. I need you to step back. That is not enough of a lawful order, sir. Do you see that parking lot light over there? Yes, I do. I need you to step there, and you can film from there without issue, but you're too close to me. I'm not stepping back. Now you're going to go in handcuffs. It's ask, tell, make, period. Sir, I would like you to step back there. No. Sir, step back there. No. Boom, handcuffs. That's it. That's it. It's end of story. The reason that so many cops get in so much damn trouble with this is they let shit get so emotional. They don't just do their job as passionately. Hey, listen, I'm sorry. Here's what the role is. I'm conducting an investigation. I got my back turned towards you. It takes half of a second for you to close the gap from 10 feet to getting right on top of me and start hitting me and choking me out. It takes half of a second. 30 feet? Yeah, it's not. It takes 5 seconds for you to run to me. So I'm going to give you the advantage of 30 feet going that way. Do it. End of story. Boom. There you go. I do have, guys, if you do want to engage in this too, remember Thursday nights are going to be doing this. You see that number at the bottom of the screen there? 708-982-0974. I'll take your calls. I'll engage with your conversation. You guys could do that as well too. So I want to go look back some of the Chille questions, but let me look here at the chat I have with you guys. Miter999, I'm doing well, dude. How are you? How far should one be as possible from a crime scene, wherever the cop tells you? The problem is that they don't say that. I need you to take a step back. Okay, take a step back. Now what? Now I need you to go back over there by that and then pick a landmark and then do that. K and P, what Dominic is trying to say, while many hate cops and don't really care if they get hurt, is doing their job. Who cares if a thug in blue takes a dirt nap? Well, your mother does. If your mom, dude, if cops got hurt and took a dirt nap, who would be there for the Wednesday afternoon gangbangs for your mother? Pigs loving pigs. And trust me, she's good. Daniel Dillard, you're 100% correct. Where can this potentially become an issue where this can become potentially an issue is when younger cops get burnt out and they start seeing every American suspect who is guilty until proven innocent. I didn't understand that everything is a hammer or everything's a nail. When you're a hammer, everything looks like a nail. I didn't understand that until I left. And I was like, damn, man, that's kind of accurate. It is what it is. I want to go back to that Chille video, and I want to respond to some of the comments that are in that. Again, we're going to do this Thursday nights, 9 p.m. Central, which is, what is that? 10 p.m. Eastern for you guys to enjoy it. All right, there's Chille Decastro again. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. UT Red Dragons What the hell with some of your guys' usernames? UT, Red Dragon, Arson 191. States. I actually watched this court case along with the body cam footage, and I will say that he should not have been found guilty on that specific case. But he was acting like a total asshole in court and called the bailiff a pig in front of the judge. That's free speech, though. That's constitutionally protected. But here's the other thing on that. I don't know the law of contempt, right? When the judge says, I'm going to hold you in contempt, I don't know what that law is. So I don't know if that is kind of like a disorderly conduct, which is a catch-all crime, right? Disorderly conduct, and it's so open to interpretation. There's nowhere in the Illinois compiled statutes, ILCS 720, that says, is this, it's 720, yeah, 625 is traffic stops, where it says that disorderly conduct, alarmed and disturbed, and that could be somebody yelling in the middle of the street, has to have a complainant. We were taught, and I had two conflicting opinions on this, and I never did the second one. The first one is only citizens can be alarmed and disturbed. So if I show up to a call and somebody is ranting, raving, screaming, this and that, and I don't know, Jane Doe is in the corner and she doesn't like that the guy is over there dropping the F-bombs and saying the N-word every other sentence. And she's like, I'm offended. Well, miss, are you alarmed and disturbed? Yes. Are you willing to sign a complaint and go to court? Yes. The guy can go in handcuffs for disorderly conduct because he's in a public place causing a disturbance. I had a sergeant that said, I'm a sergeant, but I'm a citizen. I 100% could be alarmed and disturbed. And he has arrested people for disorderly conduct. And I'm like, well, you know that's going to get thrown out, right? I mean, because the judge is going to go, you're alarmed and disturbed, because then it becomes a free speech issue. So, yeah, I'm not, I don't know how that works in court. Can the, what do you call it? The judge set the crime on your behavior, words, and action in court, and then the bailiff is the enforcer of that. Fuck Around and Find Out was basically proving that the justice system doesn't deliver justice equally. Well, if you saw today's verdict, I won't talk about that too much. I got to continue with this. I'm sure he can get it overturned on an appeal, but let's be honest, a 6-month stretch. By the time he files the appeal, he'll be out and there'll be nothing to do except for cost him money. Many times those in power are in the process of punishment. Cops will write tickets knowing damn well they won't hold up in court. Yeah, they will. Dude, I know it. I don't understand. They're called fuck you tickets, right? Pissing off the police. You know, I kind of changed the last couple of years I was on. I really saw value in being community police, which is a redundant term anyways. I'm like, man, my job is to serve the public. And fucking, I don't, if I pull you over and I go, hey, dude, you got a lead foot. It's only 35 miles an hour. Do me a favor, slow it down. I have to write you a written warning because of the bean counters. You could throw it out the window in the next town, as far as I'm concerned. So don't litter on my streets. It doesn't go on your record at all. I'll have you out of here in 5 minutes. It takes me 5 minutes to write the citation, but it's not a citation. It's a warning. Cool. I did my job. I never, when I think of a cop that knows something's going to get thrown out, like you're writing somebody for 5 miles over the speed limit, which again, too, you 100% can pull somebody over for that. I mean, speeding is 1 mile over the speed limit, technically think about it. But if you know it's going to get thrown out, does that not violation... Shit, is it 8th Amendment? I keep forgetting this one. Excessive fines. Or because you know that person's going to take the day off from work. They're going to lose money. They're going to go to court. It's going to cost them. I think it's bullshit. Cops will write tickets knowing damn well they won't open court, but in the process of hooking somebody up, they put them in the back seat in the car, taking them to the local kennel. Dog kennel is the punishment. Chille can be an absolute jag-off, but there's nothing illegal about that. You're right. Dude, you're right. There's nothing illegal about it. Cops should know that Chille Decastro's profession is trying to create lawsuits. And if that's what he does, don't take the bait. Don't take the bait. Dude, I got a call all the time. You're a racist. You're a wife beater. I would laugh all the time because I'm not married. You're insecure. You got a little dick. Dude, I'm 5'7". If you think I'm packing 9 inches, you're out of your fucking mind. I'm like, yeah, great, awesome. The only time I really ever got irritated over it was the circumstances of what they did. I was part of NIPUS, which is Illinois Northern Illinois Police Alarm Systems, and we responded to a protest where there was 90 of us and 300 of them protesting some Minuteman thing. And they were yelling at us, pigs and this and that, which I always think pig is so stupid because it's an outdated term. It's like from the 70s, the Vietnam War era. I don't even think people know what the point they're using it for anymore is. But I was dying laughing when they're calling us it, but then there was the people who had their kids in their arms, right? They would be purposely insulting and trying to bait us while they've got their fucking 1-year-old in their arm at a protest. And I'm like, you people are fucking scum. You're scum, dude. So that's a problem about that. Miter 999 says, I think that the judge can set a lot of stuff in that courtroom. I'm sure. I'm sure. That makes sense. It's their courtroom. They're the one that's dealing with it. Edwin Rentas 3244 in this video. Anytime Chille audits, he never breaks the law. Haters will hate because they don't know the law. There's, again, I don't know what this. I don't watch his videos. So if Chille thinks that if he's violating I saw him doing one thing where he's like walking in a police crime scene tape, and he's like, well, the accident happened over there. Why is this roped off over? Because the cops fucking said it is. The cops can set it. You can get a fucking pin drop of acid in the middle of a street that's a crime scene. The cops could rope off fucking the entire block if they want to. It's just as far as that goes, that's their investigation. They're going to handle it. And I like how he goes, don't touch me as I'm leaving. And he wants to walk at a snail's pace. Sorry. I'm going to pick you up and fucking touch you and move you if you are not moving at a pace which is conducive enough for me to complete my investigation, or I gave you a lawful order. You're not going to jail, but I'll fucking move you. So what Chille's problem is he thinks that he can get these cops' faces. De-escalate. He's trying to bait them. But my thing that I would be looking for 100% is Chille has made this is I would 100% take Chille into custody if he did this shit to me. Here's why. Chille has threatened to beat people up. There's a video of him, so he's got his own documented behavior, right? If you watch Chille's content enough, you see he's erratic in his behavior, which that in itself is not enough to detain him, but it's enough to keep you on alert, right? Shut your mouth, watch him. Watch him clench his fist if he's talking to you. Watch if he's leaning forward, got his arm cocked back. Hey, I'm not taking that chance. He's a hothead. He clearly hates cops. Sir, you're within a proximal distance of me. Back up, please. I need to step over there. No, you're not going to. Now we're going to pick you up and we're going to escort you over there. You don't want to move. Now you're going to go into handcuffs. Chille has demonstrated that he will fight people. There's a video of him going against some troll that he has that came up, and Chille wanted to fight him. This guy seemed like he was half of a mental head case. Chille was inviting him down an alley to apparently brawl. You heard. Well, I want to get this correctly because I don't want to misquote Mr. Decastro, but I want to play this again. What he says about the cop.
I'm a constitutional law scholar. What I do is I tour the country and I sue police departments please don't put your hands on me, sir. I'm on the public sidewalk. I'm not interfering in your scene. Please don't touch me.
The other thing too is this constant talk. It's a distraction tactic. He's talking over the officer. You could rattle the shit off all you want, but if I gave you an order, you don't do it, I'm going to move you. I don't know why these cops are so afraid to do this. Hey, listen, I need you to step back right over there. I'm a constitutional scholar, but pick him up and move him. It's very simple. You have the lawful authority to do that. Don't touch me. Fucking touch him and move him. When you start to hesitate with this shit, that's where he's going to get you on the gotcha. That's it. So fucking move him. You're not doing anything that's unconstitutional.
Me, sir. I will sue you tomorrow. Listen to me. You will be listed in a federal civil rights lawsuit. Don't play. I will not move from my feet.
Okay, then move him. Great. Then I will not move. Great. You're obstructing. Great. Awesome. If you're not going to move physically, I tell you to. No, resisting's different because resisting, you have to be forcibly resisting me from taking you into custody. I don't know if it could apply towards giving you a lawful command because I do have the discretion whether or not to take you into custody and arrest you. But if I tell you to move, you don't move. Yeah, you're obstructing, resisting. It's kind of a little bit of a case on there. But he's still talking. Great. You don't want to listen and you want to debate me? We're not. Move. Pick him up and move.
in this position right here. I don't care how big and strong you think you are, bud. I know my rights. I sue pigs like you constantly. You will not tell me where I can stand. Let me make it clear. Now back down and de-escalate.
It's what he said is not illegal. The tone of how he said it is not illegal, but it's enough for you to be, Your Honor, in my professional opinion, I took Mr. Decastro into custody because he was being physically confrontational by not moving. I gave him a lawful order. He didn't move. His words and actions were erratic, in my professional opinion. He would not respond to me in a reasonable manner, which, of course, he does not have to. But we were on an investigation. We had to secure the scene. Mr. Decastro was being uncooperative in our lawful requests. And rather than continue to escalate the circumstance, I picked up Mr. Decastro and I moved him to a safe space where he could continue his lawful activity of recording us and doing whatever he wanted. Guys, fucking learn to articulate. End of story. Resisting without violence. 100% resisting without violence. So there's active resistance and passive resistance. So if I have my arms folded like this and and a cop says, put your hands behind your back, you're under arrest, and I tense up like this and I do not allow them to and I'm not fighting them, that's resisting arrest. If they're trying to pry my arms away from me, 100%, that is resisting arrest. You're not letting you cuff me. I'm not letting you handcuff me, period. They could pepper spray me. They could tase me. They could take a big old baton to my peroneal nerve running down the side of my leg. They can do that. Personally, I think the rear naked choke needs to come back because that would solve the problem so simply and peacefully. The protesters who all lock their arms, they're actively resisting. So there's that. Yeah, and some people say this is passively resisting. No, if I'm trying to pull your arm behind your back and you're not letting it, you're actively resisting me. Pretty simple. Hope that makes sense. Miter 9999 also says, sir, in your opinion, is the court system fucked up? If so, how badly? I mean, I really don't want to talk about today because that's political, but shit. 708-982-0974. If anybody does want to speak to me, I missed a call. If anyone does want to speak to me, you guys can call in, and I will take your call. What else do I want to talk about today? Let me look at some of your other comments here. What would you say? What would you do if somebody disrespected you by saying something about you? If that's a cop issue, fucking nothing, dude. I don't give a shit. I really don't care. I put up this video today. I'm going to find this on my Instagram. Hang on. Let me get this one instead. Did I find this one? There's some videos that I'm going to critique on the Facebook or YouTube shorts, if you will. But there's others like this that I will talk about. I have been meaning to get around to this one. This is a St. Louis police officer is under fire for firing up during an arrest. St. Louis police officer had a man pinned down, about to make an arrest, but decided to light up his cigar after handcuffing the alleged suspect. When he couldn't find a lighter, another officer stepped in to get him smoke on. Many are saying he's way out of line. On the job, others are saying, so what? Let's take a look.
I got a lighter, bro. Pull your light out. No, don't pull it out. They might think you got a gun.
If this is legitimate, fire this piece of shit. If this is legitimate. I don't know if it is because I saw a video the other day of a couple cops that were pointing their tasers at a black man who was on his knees, and the wife comes up and says, no, or the fiance comes up and says, no, I'll take care of him. And it was all about him proposing to her, and that was a staged thing. So if by some chance this is a staged thing, I would be like, dude, no, man, you really got to explain this one to me because this is absolutely ridiculous and abhorrent. There's nothing you could say to make this justifiable. If this is legitimate, if this cop did this, fucking fire this piece of shit. This is a fucking scumbag. This is ridiculous. I am 100% in agreement that this cop needs to be fired for this purpose. Let's see if you guys have any other things to chat right now. Let me go to another video I was looking at. What is this? I have some of these saved. W cop coming in. I was at this light for close to 10 minutes after the rotation skipped me 3 times, and I was getting cooked under the sun. Let's see what happens. It's a biker. That's awesome. That's awesome. I appreciate that. There's some cops out there that actually do some fantastic fucking jobs. So that was one. Here's another one. I saw this. The Paulding County Sheriff's Office says that McMaster was put on desk duty on February 17th when the Georgia Bureau of Investigations was called to investigate. Attorneys for Canaris held a conference on February 20th saying the 30-year-old suffered injuries. I'm just reading this right from the caption of this video. There's no other context outside of this. The 30-year-old suffered serious injuries to his right clavicle, a skull fracture, ruptured eardrum, and concussion, adding that he was diagnosed with traumatic brain injury. Some people get that at birth. Quote, Tyler had to be admitted to the hospital for injuries. He had to have surgery and see numerous specialists. He went on to legal... His legal went on to say that the incident left him with $75,000 worth of medical bills. That's not traumatic brain injury if that's the case. That's like a fucking overnight stay in a hospital. So they're probably padding the shit out of that. Officials said that Canaris was charged with obstruction in December, 9 months after the incident. Let's look at this. Let's just take a look together.
Hands. Let me see your hands. These your hands in your pockets. Turn up the chains a little bit.
Excuse me?
You're being detained, bud.
Well, what am I doing?
Take your backpack off.
Can you explain what this is
Before
for?
you go on the ground, take your backpack off.
I'm going to get picked up for work. Sir!
The chains behind your back.
This is my phone. Are you telling me what about?
You're being detained for a minute. You're matching the description of someone trying to break into people's cars.
I'm not breaking anyone's car. Sir!
You dumb bastard.
All right, I was fine with everything until the language got up there. Fuck.
Oh, please help me! Shut the
up. Get up.
I'm going to work!
Yeah, I'm fine with all that shit until the language gets in there, because that's the problem. Do your job dispassionately. Do your job within the bounds of the law allows you to, the Constitution, use of force scale, anything that an objectively reasonable officer would do as well, too. Because I've talked about this for years. There was, I don't know if it's still coming around, but PERF, Police Executive Research Forum, talks about changing. They've been talking about this for almost over 10 years now. This is to year number 10. That they were talking about changing use of force standards for police, going from objectively. Let me say this very clearly. If you're a cop, pay the fuck attention to this. Police Executive Research Forum in 2013, 2014 released a study that they released their intent, if you will, and the fourth tenet of this was they wanted to change the concept of use of force, the force that a police officer can use to effect an arrest or terminate life-threatening behavior, right? That's deadly force and use of force, going from the standard of being objectively reasonable, right? Meaning, would a objectively reasonable officer, the majority of collectively of them, say, all right, using a baton in this situation was objectively reasonable, right? You're going to take a majority of what trained, professional, what the laws, history, all that information say objectively reasonable. What PERF wants to change it to is proportionality through the eyes of a citizen. Do you fucktards understand yet what you're doing to your own job when you do stupid shit like this fucking fat pig cop? Do you understand this? They're trying to take from you, and they're going to. You to do your job. Through the eyes of another cop like me would say, going through this, let's see if I find this objectively reasonable.
Hands.
100% let me see your hands. If the officer was called and says, we've got a guy going around, he matches the description of somebody trying to break into cars, good, that's criminal trespass and criminal trespass and or burglary of a motor vehicle, right? Happens very much a lot to you people who still wind up leaving your cars unlocked in your driveway. Kids come up and they play car bingo. When they see who's open, they're going to steal your change and shit. I'm going to come up. Hey, let me see your hands. I do not know what you have on you. If you match the description of the details I've been given, I can't tell you whether or not Jane Doe's watching from her nosy fucking window, calls 911 and says, hey, a 6-foot-tall white guy with long hair, facial hair, who's wearing jeans and a dark hooded sweatshirt. That's the description. It could have been a 5'3", pasty white fucking ginger kid going around who was a girl who was wearing a tan shirt and khakis. But for some strange reason, nosy Karen called it up. I have to go on what the information the dispatch gave me from the nosy Karen. It's not the dispatcher's job to say, hey, Karen, are you sure you got that right? Because they do want to get all the information possible. But if that's the information you gave me, when I roll up on scene, I'm going to go, man, do me a favor, get your hands out of your pocket. Now, I'm being polite about it, but boom. I am going to walk up to you, and I am going to put my hands on you, and I am going to detain you. I will do a risk control tactic. I will brace you on the hood of the squad car if I'm there, and I will pat you down for safety. And what I'm looking for in a pat down is hard objects I can identify as a weapon based on my training and experience, right? I can't go in your pockets yet, but if I feel a screwdriver in there, I can go, damn. Now I'm going to your pockets because I can articulate it's a screwdriver, knowing that what one is. And you could have taken that out and punctured me. Let's continue.
Let me see your hands. These your hands out of your pockets.
Okay, his hands are out of his pockets. Go ahead, put your hands behind your back. Perfectly lawful, perfectly legal, 100%, because if I'm going to pat you down, your hands are going behind your back. I want you to do that so I can control you better so that you're not going to fight me while I'm doing a pat down. But I'm also going to tell you, hey, put your hands behind your back. I got to pat you down real fast. I do my best to try to let you know what's going to happen as far with you, if you will.
Excuse me.
You're being detained, bud.
Well, what am I doing?
Take your backpack off.
Can you explain what this
Before
is
you go on the ground, take your...
He doesn't have to explain right now. Take your backpack off. He's already got control of him. Take the backpack down. You're good. Hey, I understand. I think there's better tactics, but again, too, there's nothing wrong with the cop being this stern. There's nothing wrong at all.
Backpack off.
I'm going to get picked up for work.
I would 100%. Yes, put him on the squad car because he's trying to distract, and I'm just going to work, and if he is the guy who's doing it, he's going to do everything he can to use his silver tongue to kind of distract the cop and get out of it. So far, everything the cop is doing, great. I think I would do the same thing. It's great.
Sir.
Put your hands behind your back.
This is the third or fourth time he said this. He is lawfully resisting. He's not doing it. He's not putting his hands behind his back. You're disobeying a peace officer. You're resisting. If he's going to detain him, you're resisting. You could say he's obstructing his investigation too.
This is my phone.
I don't know if it's a phone. I don't know if it's a knife. I don't know if it's a .22 caliber pistol. I don't give a shit. Put the fucking phone down.
You're being detained for a minute. You're matching the description of someone trying to break into people's cars.
I'm not breaking anyone's car.
Okay. I don't know. Is this wrong? No. Because if he was not having a successful time detaining him, getting his hands behind his back, put him on the ground. Now, I'm a former competitive wrestler. I'm a wrestling coach. I currently still do train and teach martial arts. I'm 49 years old, and I'm not a cop anymore. I don't like fucking going on the ground. I did everything possible not to go to the ground. I think the squad car is great. Brace them up on there, take their balance, kick those legs out wide, jam up in the center of their the top of their back, take their balance off, pull them by the waistband back so they have no 100%. Many tactics you could do. Take them down the ground? I don't know. That's just not my forte. Did he do a good job on it? Sure. To a degree. Is it easy for me to say this cop was fed up? Yeah. Sure. That's a fucking cop who's like, I've had enough of this shit. Now, all of a sudden, the needle starts to tilt in the other direction that's almost pro-suspect by saying, oh, man, you're letting your emotions get to you, copper. But let's see. Let's continue.
You dumb bastard.
Yep, you let your emotions get to you.
Oh, please help me. Shut the up.
Get up.
Yep, you let your emotions get to you. Let your emotions get to you. When you think about it, for the most part, and this is something I've been saying for years, cops, the salary for cops, we're talking 6 figures a year. You make 6 figures a year to drive around in a squad car, answer 90% of the shit you're going to do is going to be answering bullshit calls. You get to carry a badge and a gun off duty, so you feel cool, man. You got a badge. You're guaranteed to probably speed wherever you want to because nothing's ever going to get done about it. I don't know how many of you abuse DUI laws out there because some of you cops are the worst fucking drunk drivers on the planet. You live pretty damn good. And the people that you're going to interact with, a very high volume of the people you're going to interact with are shitbags. Poverty. Can't function well into society. Impaired on substances, alcohol, drugs, shitty predicaments in life or whatnot. But then there's you, who probably lives in a really good home, makes a great salary. You get so many perks from the job. And you want to treat people like fucking shit. You want to let your emotions get to you. Do you see how some of you out there are just fucking stupid and you don't get it? You get paid to play for a living. Your job is you get to drive around and you get to play hero. You get to drive around. You get to do some really awesome self-righteous stuff, man. I mean, really, not self-righteous, but righteous. You do get to save the day. You do get to help the old lady. You do get to solve the crime. You do get, and it really, man, shows the best side of you. This shit, because you're fed up with how somebody's fucking attitude is, and you keep your emotions in check. It's 2024, and the fact that some of you just can't do it shows we have a perpetual problem that is a cancer in law enforcement. Let's do one more here. Let's see what else I got. I was holding for review. The deputy was fired for that. Miter says 999. Daniel Dillard says, in this particular case, the cop had ample opportunity to choose how he took this guy to the ground. It appears that he was fed up and let his emotions get to him, so he chose to fuck this guy up. I agree. Miter 999 says, I think BJJ cops said a lot of cops need better training and control methods. They do. I've never met BJJ cops, but we talk online. Get to that one later on. Let me see what else I want to talk about. Do I want to get racial? No, I don't want to get racial. I'm not in the mood to get fucking racial. Let me see what else there was. Oh, yeah, this is the one I was talking about where I can't believe this goes inside of the cop who was lighting up that cigar. I don't know if that was planned or not. This is ridiculous.
I'm fine. Get his gun, okay, get his gun, I will.
All right, Cal.
You back up. I will get
Cal.
it.
Cal.
I will get it.
Yeah, I don't know how that's community policing. You're pretty much playing off of one of the biggest complaints of the urban black community, which is cops use too much fucking force on black subjects. And here you have him on his knees. You got tasers pointed at him, fucking less than lethal weapon, and you do this shit. It's unprofessional, makes you look like shit. It reinforces a bullshit negative stereotype. So the groom who wanted to do this, it's a fucking joke as well, too. I thought this was dumb. This was so dumb. Absolutely dumb. All right, but let's do one more that I wanted to do. Police versus woman? I didn't see this one. Let's take a look. This is a woman in Oklahoma City allegedly shot and injured a man before the victim took the weapon away from her. When the police arrived, she told the officer she had a gun and walked out of her house holding her hand covered up towards police. After the police shots fired toward the woman, they realized she was not holding a gun and then proceeded to take her down with a taser and detain her.
While officers were at the front door, Daniels yelled she had a gun.
I got a gun.
Officers were called to a domestic at 3108 Northwest 61st Street, where a woman had shot a man in the chest. When the officers arrived, they found an adult male victim outside of the home and were able to get him to safety. When the first officer arrived, the victim handed him a gun that he was able to get away from the suspect, identified as Lisa Daniels. While officers were at the front door, Daniels yelled she had a gun.
I got a gun.
Reedy, come back up here. She's saying she has a gun.
Got a gun.
Come out with your hands up!
Got a gun.
Come out with your hands up!
Officers moved away from the door to a safe position with the belief Daniels had another gun in her possession. As officers were about to begin giving additional commands to Daniels, she came out of the home. When she exited the home, she had a sweater covering her right hand and pointed her right arm at the officers.
Light her up.
Daniels can
Light her up. Light her. That's it. Why I don't hear shots fired right there? A couple different reasons why I don't know if you would have shots fired. Number one, they don't know who else is in the house. There could be other people in the house, and you got windows right there. The door's open. Maybe rounds could fly down there. Okay. She comes out, and that thing, and she's got her hand underneath a sweater, and she declared she has a gun. Light her the fuck up, dispassionately. You lawfully have every authority to terminate the life-threatening behavior. That is life-threatening behavior. I don't have to. You have to prove. Oh, can you?
Excuse me, miss. You. Yeah, can you... Hey, is that a gun under your Oh, it's a rolling pin. Guys, you just got a rolling pin. It's okay, ma'am. You can come out of now.
You out of your fucking mind?
continued to tell the officers she had a gun while doing this. Officers gave Daniels several verbal commands to drop the item, but she refused.
Yeah, here's where everybody out there said if she was black, she'd look like an aerated front lawn right now. I'm going to have to think that maybe the fact that she's a female and I don't know, guys, if it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, I don't know.
One officer attempted to use a taser, but was unsuccessful.
Why the fuck would you use a taser from that far away? That's your department. That's your command staff talking. That is your command staff trying to avoid all liability. Bullshit.
Someone go less lethal.
I don't know why they have long guns either.
Drop it now. Drop it.
Drop the gun. Drop the gun.
Daniels then turned and began aggressively approaching Officer Elam while raising her covered hand and getting into a two-handed shooter stance.
Are you kidding me?
The officer believed Daniels had a gun under the sweater and was pointing it at him. The officer discharged his firearm towards Daniels, but she was not struck.
Drop the gun! Drop the gun!
This is Oklahoma City? The fuck is wrong with you guys? This is horrible.
Drop the gun! Drop the gun!
Call has been updated.
Drop the gun! 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 Drop the gun!
Daniels then turned and
These are cops who are afraid to do their job and cops who have no marksmanship skills, apparently.
started walking back across the lawn. It was at this point the officers could see the item in Daniels' hand was partially uncovered and they were able to identify it was not a firearm.
Drop the gun! Drop the gun! Drop the gun! Drop the gun! Drop,
Get on the ground!
Pointing it, drop it.
That's not a gun. It's not a gun. It's not a gun. It's not a gun.
The officers were able to communicate this information to each other, at which point another officer was able to deploy his taser and strike Daniels. She was then taken into custody without further incident. The male shooting victim was taken to an area hospital where he was treated for his injury. A second male victim who had been injured by Daniels prior to the officer's arrival was also treated for his injuries and released at the scene. Daniels was booked into the Oklahoma County Detention Center for assault and battery with a dangerous weapon. The involved officer was placed on routine administrative leave pending the outcome of the investigation. The investigation is still in the early stages and will take time to complete.
These are cops who are afraid to do their job. You show up on scene with a guy with a fucking bullet hole. He says, I have a gun. You don't know how many guns they have in the home. She says how many times, I have a gun, I have a gun, I have a gun. You're telling her 20 times, drop the gun, and she's walking towards you, and then walks towards you aggressively with her hand covered up by stuff and takes a stance. Oh. You know, I mean, sometimes it is what it is, right? Guys, we're going to stop there for right now. I don't know. Let me see if you guys have any other comments that you want to say on this one. Stormtroopers, Juke Skywalker says, Stormtrooper, 100% dude. They couldn't, their firearm skills were as bad as mine. I could fucking fight. I just don't shoot. Daniel Dillard says, I believe the defunding police will only cause more problems for everyone. What I believe will actually help cops' reputation with the public is for officers. They have better access to training such as PID. Well, I guess we'll never know. Who knows what's going to happen. Guys, listen, I enjoy this live every Thursday night, 10 Eastern. That is also then 9 Central, 8 Mountain, and 7 Pacific. 7 Pacific. That's the time frame on that. Guys, have any questions or anything you want to add anything, type it in the comment section. Remember, this is brought to you by Spreely.com. Go check out Spreely.com. It's a full free speech platform where we have other shows like The Rants of Izzo, where I'm live Monday through Friday at noon Central, where we talk about everything from porn to politics. We have The Dumb Show, The Dylan and Friendly Show, Shannon Joy Show. What else do we have? The Burn Pit Podcast with Scott Sieverts and Maddie Wack. Report and Opine with Eric Butler. We have a great lineup. We also have a social media platform that is censorship free. That is Spreely.com. Speak freely. Compounded into one word. Spreely. Speak freely. Guys, I appreciate your time. I'm Dominic Izzo. I am your host. I'm a retired police officer from up here in the Chicago area. And I look forward to having more conversations with you. Have a great damn night. Be safe out there, guys. And, just be safe. I'll see you guys in the next video.